We move quickly to the last, but one of the most important themes of the working group, and that's human rights and human values. And I invite Dr. Durganand Sahaji to speak. That's up, 10 minutes? Right. Or 9 minutes.
Namaskar, pranam to everybody. I decided to speak something on human rights as human values. Actually, contention of my statement is that we are going to put some questions on the concept of human rights. We have some differences. We think that when concept of human rights came into being, that was not the right situation.
Durganand Sahaji, इससे संबंधित
Yes,
so that everybody gets in the
yes.
along.
Yes.
Right. Please. Sorry, I'm sorry.
You know, rights, when we talk of rights, there are two parts. Someone gives you rights, okay, and one is recipient of the rights. In the context of human rights, I don't know who is giving. There is declaration, but it is not clear who is giving. And the recipients we are, and that is also not very clear that how we are recipient of that rights. You know, when human UDHR was being discussed, many countries of Asia and Africa were colonial rule. That's why when you read declaration of UDHR, you will read term like non-self-governing countries, means they were colonies. Colonial masters were discussing about human rights. So you mean even country does not have the proper rights, they are not free, but those who were enslaving, had enslaved countries, they were discussing about the human rights. That context was different. So now my appeal is, now it is the right time that the UNO should revisit concept of human rights. These are first concern. Second thing is that rights emanate as from values, from culture. All countries do not have same culture, same values. Therefore, my suggestion is that one right should be minimum rights, one category of rights should be minimum universal declaration of rights. And second one should be regional declaration of rights, means every country should have a set of rights. For example, East Asian countries had different set of values. African countries had different set of values. So they should declare their own rights. Universal declaration of rights, I don't think it is a practical thing. Second thing, that human rights is a highly strategic issue. We should not use human rights issue as a strategic instrument against any country. Problem is that when it is human rights are being violated in some countries, if it is not favorable, then it becomes a national international issue. But if it is violated and it suits many important countries, then it is ignored. That is not the good thing. Third thing is what we want to we have identified around 12 topics that we want to discuss in our conference on human rights. That first topic is evolution of human rights. Second is digital space and human rights. Third one is environment and human rights. Fourth one is human rights and culture. Fifth one is media and human rights. Sixth one is democracy, governance and human rights. Seventh one is human rights and women rights and human rights. Next one is human rights and duties, because duties are very important in our context, particularly in Indian context. Rights emanate from the duties. If your duty is bigger, your rights will be bigger. If your duty is small, your rights should be range of your rights will be a smaller one. Next topic is that we are going to consider right to education as a human rights. Next, 11th one is human rights and child rights. Next one is social security and human rights. Means we have identified a dozen of themes on which we are discussing, and we will prepare some note that will be helpful to the government of India, and that we will request government of India that they should include it in the policy pack, and they get discussed in G22 meetings. Another point I would like to add, I will not take many minutes, that Article 18 of Human Rights Declaration is very controversial. You know, you have religious freedom, everything okay, but right to change one's religion, what is the point of making it? So, under the aegis of this provision, conversions are taking place in many countries. You are deculturizing people, you are converting people. This is not the right thing. That's why my humble submission is that human rights, all these rights are good thing, but these rights should not be used as a strategic purpose. Strong countries use human rights as an instrument against weaker countries. That should be prohibited. If we cannot protect human rights of a country, what is the use of talking to human rights, protecting human rights of an individual? We cannot protect human rights of individual if we cannot protect human rights of a country. This is very important. I think, Shyamji, is okay? Thank you.